Hello, ladies and gentlemen. James here. Hope you're doing well on this beautiful week. Week. I just wanted to show you some. I really admire these young men who are speak the truth and speak their mind. I'm gonna shout out to their channels. This is this young man. He kind of talk about the things that black people go through it in their generation, and it's a generation of really waking up and see how racism and prejudice and bigotry, how jealousy and envy is come at black people. In this video, I'm going to show you three young men that talk about it. He's number. Start with him. Shot.
If you have 50K or more in your bank account right now, do not ignore this video because the
Then I'll
infrastructure
be
is
back with my
massive.
commentary.
So today we're going to be talking about black joy and how for some reason this pisses a lot of people off. Now I've said this before, but whenever we see videos surrounding black fatigue or any type of anti-black video on YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, etc., the focal point is stemming from black joy. And I want to add that black fatigue has been gentrified. This is the original meaning. They changed it to something anti-black. So right here we have a video of some girls. They turned up after their graduation, man. They lit. Rightfully so. They just got their diploma. But the comment section is full of people hating. After 378 tardiness and 12,000 absences, do y'all think 8,000 likes? They just get their first EBT cards, 8,000 likes. Calm down, everyone. They spent 6 years in 9th grade all for this moment. Let them celebrate, bruh. Look at the future baby mamas. Black fatigue is real, and it's nothing but black kids being joyful. We got another one right here. Look, my boy throwing the money up. Hell yeah, man. Turn up, bruh. Y'all just graduated, man. Another one get down here. Hey, get into it, y'all. Get into it. He going crazy, though. I ain't gonna lie. The comment section is full of the same shit. We got a little shady comment right here. Is this tough in America? 9,000 likes. For high school graduation, all you gotta do is show up to pass. Is acting civil at a formal event like graduation really that difficult? And then this comment right here is funny because I can't even understand it. It's from like a Spanish dude. I can kind of comprehend it. I think he's saying future McDonald employees or something like that. 700 likes. Like, you commenting this is not gonna make them white folks like you. But I want to show y'all a double standard. Let's see a video of some white teens graduating high school. So right here, she said just graduating and she getting lit. You know what I'm saying? She turning up. I love to see this, bro. Pop your shit, girl. Go crazy. Everybody doing it. Look, turn it up. Turn it up, y'all. But the comment section is very much different. One of the most liked comments. It's something positive. Social anxiety is scared of bro. 23,000 likes. Hey, turn up, 7,000 likes. And shout out to this person right here because they pointed out a huge double standard. No hate, but where were these commenters' energy when it was the black girls celebrating like this? Thank you. But another form of black joy that got these folks mad are hood proms. Prom 2026. Everybody lit, everybody turned up. He getting out the car, he's fresh. You know what I'm saying? My boy looks smooth. Everybody just happy. We just happy. And then he went to grab her out the car. And they look nice. He being a gentleman. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, damn if you do, damn if you don't. They, like, you know what I'm saying, bro? It's like, golly. And they taking their pictures. They're not even loud. Anyway, like, I saw we'll go to the comments, but they're just chilling. So the comments on this video were disgusting. 10K for prom, $0 for college. Let's just go back to this video. What in here was $10,000? This is what a Challenger? A regular ass Challenger probably could be this doesn't even mean it's a rental. It could be a family member car. The dress is like, what's 10K about this? What are y'all talking about? Then we got a comment doing too much and shit. And she's just being a hype man. And this is what I mean by Gen Z. They want to be so nonchalant, so fucking cool, bro. Just a bunch of lames, man. V6 Charger and Temu outfits. Just hollering. All this and no college fund. This is my thing I want to address too. How do y'all know? How do y'all know they don't have a savings for their children? How do you know they don't have money put aside for them? I'm tired of this like stereotype that black people, we don't have money or we're poor. We're all living like this. No. So what I'm getting from these videos is just y'all hating. You know what I'm saying? Y'all pocket watching. You ain't go get you some money, bro. Sorry to even be like that. Y'all know I'm trying to get away from capitalism, but hold on now. Go get you some bread now. You got the same 24 hours as these kids in this video. They hating on some kids cause they looking fresh and they got a nice car. Y'all some. And the thing about it, y'all, in that video, they wasn't even doing too much. 10K, that outfit was probably like a couple hundreds of dollars. It's prom. You're supposed to dress nice. What? Like, I don't understand it. Now, another example of black joy pissing people off was people on TikTok, like black people, they would go into Longhorn showing themselves eating, and in the comments, it would just be like racist comments. So right here, y'all, we have a very simple video of a woman, a black woman, eating lamb chops, you know, enjoying her food, happy, black joy. And you would think, what would people comment about this? What is negative about this? Is Longhorn supposed to be a flex? I mean, I think it's a chit hold. Can't even go to Longhorn anymore now. God damn it. Shaquisha saved up weeks for this treat. Grant she don't work. Lots of EBT, Section 8, welfare.
I want to share something raw. Something I rarely do. You see, for the past 2 years,
Hold on, it gets even better.
Why is it always the usual suspects? You guys are really disappointing. I don't know if it is that you are stupid or you are some government experiment.
They will never assimilate. They have chip brains. Can't change that. Everywhere in the world where they are, it's violence, ignorance, stupidity, monkey culture, and a savage nature.
I keep seeing all of these TikToks with the usual suspects saying, oh, if we don't get our EBT, we don't get our SNAP, our food stamps, whatever. But the first, we're going to start stealing.
The usual suspects. At this point, just say black people. We know you're talking about us. Damn. So the other day I'm scrolling on social media, right? And I kept seeing the same phrase pop up over and over again. The usual suspects.
The usual suspects. The usual suspects.
Usual suspects. The usual suspects.
The usual suspects.
At first, I'm not thinking much of it. I'm like, okay, maybe they're talking about repeat offenders. Maybe they're talking about specific individuals. Or maybe they're talking about actual suspects, right? But then I start reading the comments. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. That's not what they mean at all. They're talking about us. And the craziest part is, they're not even trying to be subtle. You'll see people say things like, I don't see color, or I'm just being honest. That's just statistics. But in the same breath, they'll also turn around and say, it's always the same type of people.
Listen, I'm not racist. However, you do something that complements your stereotype. Let's say someone of an also very specific race gets a woman pregnant and leaves her. I'm also going to be like,
And that right there tells you everything you need to know. Because how do you not see color, but somehow you always end up describing one specific group? That's not being neutral. That's just coded language. And that's really what this whole usual suspects thing is. It's just a way to say something without actually saying it. Because if someone really believed what they were saying, they wouldn't have to hide behind phrases like that. They wouldn't need to soften it or disguise it. They would just say it directly. But that's the thing, they don't. And the reason they don't is because they understand how it sounds. They understand how it looks. And they understand it would be consequences for saying it outright. So instead, they repackage it. They dress it up. They make it sound more acceptable. The usual suspects. I'm not racist, I'm just observant. Patterns don't lie.
I'm not a bigot. I'm not a racist.
Anybody with a brain can tell he's about to say something really stupid.
But I am a realist. And I am a culturalist. And what I will not put up with is all the crimes, all the debauchery, the litter, the bonnet brigade, the people that walk through the damn store holding their damn cell phone like this on speakerphone again.
Did I lie? This loser's more worried about us wearing bonnets and using our cell phone in a specific way in public. You can't make this up, dog. But what they're really describing isn't observation, it's repetition. Because if all you consume all day is negative content about one specific group of people, your perception is going to be shaped by that. If every video you watch, every post you engage with, every comment you read is reinforcing the same negative idea, eventually it's gonna feel like truth to you, even if it's not. And that's not pattern recognition, that's conditioning. And social media plays a huge role in that, because these platforms don't show you reality. They show you what keeps you engaged. If negative content gets your attention, then that's what you're going to be shown. And the more you see it, the more it reinforces what you already believe.
You never know what's going to happen. You truly don't. You could look at them wrong and they get mad and loud and aggressive. So if avoiding black people for your own safety is racism now, well then I guess I'm racist.
You can tell her algorithm is just showing her the most extreme clips of black people, not what real life actually looks like. And that's the type of mindset that forms when you consume that type of content on a consistent basis. And as you'll see as the video continues, some of them are bold enough to let us know they talking about us, but most of them are not like that. So then people start saying things like, why is it always the same group? Or, I'm just asking questions.
Why do we always see the perpetrator being black?
How are you?
My was make your own schedule and get paid anywhere from $12 to $20 an hour.
You get paid weekly, you get to see how the jobs are. If you like,
See the perpetrator being black.
How are you?
Getting in here and doing whatever.
who? Get away from me.
I'm just asking you a question.
Get away from me.
But those aren't real questions. Those are assumptions being framed as curiosity. And usually, those assumptions aren't coming from real life experiences. Majority of the time, they're not. A lot of the people who say the usual suspects don't actually interact with black people on a regular basis. They don't live around us. They don't work with us. And they damn sure don't build relationships.
Sorry about that. I was trying to adjust the page.
They don't live around us. They don't work with us. And they damn sure don't build relationships with us. Everything they think they know comes from second-hand sources, comment sections, viral clips, and other people who already think the same way they do.
Harassing an old white man at Vaughn's.
I need it, bro. Obviously, in this situation, the black guy is at fault. I'm not defending that, and he should not be harassing people. But the point is, this is the only side of the community that they show, which is a very small percentage, by the way.
When I see a black, I'm just like, you just suck, you know? And I'm going to avoid you.
I think I just feel safer around Mexicans, like I'm not gonna get
That's true.
shot or something.
When you have two idiots like this, it's nobody there to ever challenge their way of thinking. So they continue with this same mindset, and they surround themselves around other idiots that think exactly like they do. But clips like the one that I'm about to show you that represents us in a positive light get minimized or ignored because it doesn't fit the narrative that they're trying to push.
Someone dropped that envelope right there on the floor. That's yours? Dropped that envelope on the floor, boss? Someone dropped that envelope on the floor right there.
Not me.
Huh?
Take it up to the desk.
Oh, that's not for you?
No,
Oh, man, look, it's a lot of money there.
I know.
Damn, it said peak here on it.
Yeah, come on, let's take it up into the desk.
Oh, man, you honest.
So it becomes an echo chamber. And inside of that echo chamber, phrases like the usual suspects start to feel normal. They start to feel justified. But the reality is, it's just bias being repeated over and over again. And what makes it even more obvious is the fact that people will admit indirectly that they know what they're saying is wrong. You'll see situations where someone is basically told, just say what you mean. And their response is, I don't want to get banned, or I don't want to get canceled. Which means they already understand exactly what they're implying. They just don't want to deal with the consequences of saying it outright.
Say it again, say it again. I'm at the Bama game, I got a seat. And, what did you say? Say it again, say it again.
I said you're an ugly ass, weird ass thing. That's what I said.
Okay. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else?
Do you think black people should pay reparations to white people for using up all the welfare and committing so much crime?
I don't think I can answer that. I can't answer anything about race.
Do you think black people should be able to use the self-checkout section at the grocery store? I think I still want to go to college.
This is all a joke, all for research purposes.
So instead, they hide behind language that gives them plausible deniability. They can always fall back on, I didn't say that, even though everyone already knows what was implied. And then, almost every time, the conversation shifts to statistics. That's usually the next step. Fake numbers get brought up with no context, no explanation, no deeper analysis, just fake numbers by themselves that are supposed to be some sort of proof of something bigger.
But if you look at the stats, a black man is actually approximately 38 times more likely to murder a white man than a white man is to murder a black man.
They're 38 times more, they're 50 times more, there it is, they're that. It changes every time this conversation comes up. And you know their favorite one to jump to is the 1350.
Violent crime, you just said, like you said, a small percentage of the country, about 12 to 13%, 50% of the violent crime.
It's false, and that's been disproved so many times, but it's like, oh my gosh. I'm gonna have to make a full video on that. But numbers without context don't actually explain anything, let alone fake numbers at that. They don't tell you why something is happening. They don't account for historical factors, economic conditions, or systemic issues. They just give you a surface level snapshot that can be interpreted multiple different ways, depending on what you already believe. And that's why those numbers are usually used the way that they are. Not to understand, but to confirm a bias that already exists. Because if the goal was actually understanding, the conversation wouldn't stop at the statistic. It would go deeper. It would ask why. It would look at the contributing factors. It would consider multiple perspectives. But that never happens. Instead, it always circles back to the same conclusion. The usual suspects.
Alright, so
Wow. I'm gonna stop it right there with this video. Shout out to his channel. But I want to show you something that another young brother. These young brothers be on it, man. I mean, these young men, they are very aware, and you're not gonna pull this mess on them in this generation. They're way smart.
In the past, you've heard me discuss different racist attacks that black men face in the workplace. But today, I want to talk about the actual systems that a lot of these attacks fall under. I'm your host, Kukolas, and you are now tuning into a new video on my channel. So let's get into it. Usually, when I talk about the different specific racist attacks that black men experience in the workplace, I discuss it by giving you examples of the way that different things show up. But in this video in particular, I want to discuss the actual system itself. And for any of you young kings who are either just entering the workplace or you're already there and you're just trying to seek some clarity and knowing how to move, I need you to understand something that I've said over and over again on this channel. When you are in the workplace, you are in enemy territory. The workplace is not truly built for black men to succeed. It is built to regulate us, over-evaluate us, overuse us, and when needed, get rid of us in a way that still sounds professional. The reason why I say that these are racist issues that we experience is because black people are typically the ones that experience this more than any other group. These are things that are typically not done to other groups of people, especially white folks in the dominant society. And as a result, we are the most systematically harmed by this mistreatment. You can't just walk up in the workplace and expect that just based on merit alone and all of your accolades and all of your hard work that you're going to get everything that you deserve because of it. It does not work like that. And there are specific ways that black men are targeted that really need to be spoken about. I will say this. Some of the things that I'm going to be discussing today are things that black women can also go through as well too in some ways. However, the crux of this video is particularly tailored exclusively to the systemic mistreatment that black men face. Because one of the things that you need to understand as a black man is that they are attacking your masculinity through a lot of the things that I'm saying. Because these aren't things that end up attacking you just while you're at work. You carry these things home as well too, and it affects your being and who you are and the way you move. Even psychologically, these are not just random bad moments. These are patterns that are underneath a specific heading. And these are some of the things that leave black men confused, isolated, underpaid, underpromoted, mentally exhausted, and also in many cases, unemployed. So let's talk about the first form of systemic racism that black men face in the workplace. The first form is called the minority minion manipulation. So I'm going to say it one more time. The minority minion manipulation. Or you can call it the triple M. I don't really care. This is when the dominant society uses other groups, especially black women and immigrants, as pawns to do what they either can't do or don't want to do directly to black men. So they use this divide and conquer tactic. Because instead of the dominant society always being the one to directly check you or shame you or criticize you or make you feel uncomfortable, they often know who exactly to go to that will do it for them. They know who is the right office mammy to pick. They know who is the right immigrant tether who is loyal to the system and not on code with black people. They know the right woman in general who will either co-sign disrespect, overcorrect you, or run interference whenever you are trying to speak up for yourself. So what happens is, instead of racism looking direct, it starts looking like everybody has a problem with you. And that's the trick that they like to play. And there's multiple steps that go with this. The first step is called proxy control. They pick the right pawns. They know who will nitpick at you. They know who will challenge your tone. They know who will regulate how you speak. They know who will talk down to you. They know who will keep watch on you and keep tabs on everything that you do. And they know who will carry themselves in a way that makes it seem like they are just being tough, assertive, or real with you, when really they are just helping uphold an already racist system. These people are not just inserted randomly. The workplace knows exactly who to use, and they can spot certain personalities, and they hire them for these purposes. And often they pick the ones who want proximity to this power, even if it's a Temu form of the shit. They also know the ones who already have some form of internalized anti-blackness. And they know the ones who feel comfortable flexing on black men because they know the dominant society will just back them up when they do this type of shit. Second stage is called false validation system. Because once these folks start doing the dirty work, now the workplace gets to build fake proof around its racism. So in other words, it's not the workplace is racist, management is anti-black, or this environment is targeting black men. It now becomes, well, multiple people have had issues with you, so. Or it's not just one person saying this, it's multiple people saying this. Or maybe you should reflect on who you are for growth. Or maybe you're the common denominator in all the problems. And this is where shit gets dangerous, because when you start seeing different people, different races, different sexes, different backgrounds, all pointing at you, saying that you are the issue, you begin to think maybe you are the problem. And that is actually what we call gaslighting. And it works because it makes racism look like it's a consensus, or something that is simply just not there. It's just that you are a problem. There's not racism going on. You're just the issue. It turns coordinated behavior into evidence that you are either a bad employee, difficult to work with, too sensitive, too loud, too much, not a team player. That's another one they like to do, or whatever else they need to make it seem like you are the problem. Third step is called gaslighting through familiarity. This is where the office mammies really like to get active, y'all. Because a lot of times they'll try to make their disrespect feel familiar. I mean, they'll be in there doing all types of shit. They'll be joking on you like they're your mama. They'll talk down to you like they're the ones who raised you. They'll act like they're giving you some type of game or being hard on you because they care, or they're just keeping it real. And some will even start acting from both ends. Now let me explain what I mean by that. When they are alone with you, they will either do that stupid ass hand tap bullshit where they try to act like they're on code with you, where if you bring up an issue or you say something that's going on, they'll be like, you know why it's going on? They like to do that bullshit. Or they'll talk about sticking together and doing this kind of black coalition kumbaya shit. And then later down the line, they will turn around and make the workplace hell for you. And they'll start embarrassing you in front of people in the dominant society. I look at that and I'm like, on code my black ass. And then that's where they'll pull out this whole tough love nonsense. And since we on subject of that, I just want to say something about tough love real quick. Tough love is bullshit. Anybody can be tough on you. Anybody can criticize you. Anybody can be harsh with you. That doesn't make it love. Calling something tough love is often just a way to make being harsh, being disrespectful, or manipulative seem moral, necessary, or justified. That ties into something that I talk about too, by the way, in the new book that I'm creating called On Code Communications Relationships. And it's this concept that I have coined, and it's called Moral Compass Babble. Now let me explain what that is. Moral Compass Babble is the system of adding subjective moral identifiers to the intent of certain actions that people do that are either wrong or questionable in order to soften the backlash that may be given based on the impact. It usually is done to dismiss the possible repercussions and accountability that the individual who was an offender may receive. It often involves the act of using morality to justify actions where people try to dress up what they're doing with some fake moral intention so that it sounds righteous instead of what it actually is. And in society, a lot of folks farm social currency. They want to look like the mature one. They want to look like the caring one. They want to look like the honest one and the strong one. They want to look like the one who tells it like it is and people respect them for it. So when they do something harsh, instead of just owning it, they'll try to put a little label on it to make it seem like something that it really isn't. When it comes to the workplace, and specifically these office mammies who do this type of shit, the truth is, the same people who claim they're hard on you because they care and they give a fuck about you and your growth will be the same ones who will turn their noses up at you the second that you lose that job and end up in a bad spot and on your ass. So it goes from I'm just trying to help to cold isolation. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I already think that love is something that is super fickle, and this in particular is especially not love. A lot of times.
I'm go ahead and cut it short because I don't want to make it too long. Take all this video. Shout out to Cool Cowless for his opposition. Now I'm about to come in with my comment. This go across all sectors of workplaces. This is one. Thank God I'm not in the workplace no more to deal with these issues. It goes in no matter if you're in the office, you're in the warehouse, you're doing whatever industry you're in. Now, the other two videos talking about the black joy. It sounds like to me that it's something about black people that some people are just jealous. They're envious. And it's something that is in their life. These are the kind of individuals that like to see when we're fighting, we're taking each other out, so they can use so they can make money off of misery. This is something that's generational. Their parents, some of these people who are making these videos who are white, their parents always had disdain for black people. They always had disdain for us. No matter what we do, no matter if we enjoying ourselves, no matter whatever it was, they got to come see what it is. It's a fact. They're jealous. They're envious. It's like, and some of these other people who have something against black Americans, they jump on board. I can see if the young people was doing something like running through the mall, knocking over old ladies, tearing up the store. I give that. I would, I understand something like that. If that was someone doing foolish, like I say, that's foolishness. If somebody was racing up and doing mob, and they tearing up the store, raiding malls, and doing something like that, I can see that. But somebody simply just happy for their family, excited for their friends, of getting out of a car to a prom. What's the harm in that? Some people that choose to celebrate, they just want to be overjoyed because they've been through so much heartache and headache trying to get through school. Some people, and I have seen white people do the same, act out crazy too, at graduation. But when the black people do it, that's true. It's a double standard. They don't want you to have joy. They want you to be submissive. They want you, yes sir, yes ma'am. In this generation, it's not like that. The younger generation, the millennials, the Gen Zs, they're not taking it. And they're going to confront you about your racism. I'm talking to the baby boomers, the Gen X's, and all these other people. And I kind of admire that. I really do. The workplace, yeah, I've seen it. 57 years old, what this young man said was absolutely, I've seen it in every walk of job I've been on. Every walk of job. He is not lying. How people are, the different people. And when you're a black man, it's worse. A black American man, whew, man. Some be on the job, and we'll turn it. Some of them you always got that one that will turn against the other, for the sake of they think they're gonna have it better than the other people. I've seen it from all ages, walk of life, and I've seen it with some black women too. Always that one. They'll do that. My last job I had, I'm gonna give you a short story. Like I had a couple jobs before, was transporting nuclear medication. And as you see these young men, they come in as interns. They treat them with young men starting out with pharmacy. I see the lead tech. He's treating them with all kind of respect. When it comes to me, he's talking like, what you standing around me for? And I'm like, I'm just trying to, wait on, I'm done. I just want to see what is the next thing you want me to do. You can stand being next to me. And I'm a kind of person, I don't like to be around people that long anyway, but once I do the job, the task done, I'm done with it. So I get up, at 4 o'clock in the morning, because, it was delivering nuclear medication, which is like a nuclear fluid, where, when you get your IVs and things they prepare for the patient. I'm going to hospitals, and I go and take a key, lock in, put the medication in, and sometimes at midday, I wait for when I go down there to pick up. Sometimes they don't have it always ready, right? And so, I'm like, fine, I don't make a big deal out of it. He's making it, you have to wait on it, because it don't make me sense to hurry up and grab something, and which it would have took this guy only 5-10 minutes to prepare it together. It's not like, time you get back, you have to wait for like the next hour or two for the next batch of medication to send you on a run. Well, this one time, and the people, they didn't have it in time, because they getting it all together, and I call in and say, hey, they just, it's gonna be a little minute. Well, you can't wait, you can't come on back. It's only gonna take about 5-10 minutes to prepare, medication, because it's dealing with liquids and blood and taking back blood, so it takes time after you get the liquid together, the previous liquid that they didn't use, the dispose, the blood. So I get back, I made a one mistake one time. It was in one hospital, it was 2 locations. I put one was supposed to go to one separate lab, the other was supposed to go to another lab. Well, they got switched around. I did that one time. They called up there and they bitched because that happened. So I get back to the office. The manager called me. He called me in, and he said, tell him what about this. And I said, hey, that was my mistake. I'm sorry. Blah 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 blah. You think that was enough, right? He go in and say for another thing. You've been taking your time, mind you. I'm not speeding. I didn't wreck the equipment. I didn't, was it hostile to the clients of hospitals and nurses and staff? I never, I've always had it was just a couple little mistakes. But the head manager had to sit up there and tell me, and another thing, you should be back here at a certain time. I'm going the speed limit because they don't want to pay for your ticket. They say if you speed, you automatically, it's not our fault. So I'm rushing. I'm getting out early, making sure I have all my stuff. There's maybe one time you might slip because you just, and sometimes maybe one time I had to rush back to the office, and I managed to get there on time to get back on my route. But when that man talked to me that last time, and it was a cleaning lady in that office. He talked to me, ladies, like I was something. And another thing, and you better, da. So I said, so when something clicked, and the way, and I'm getting tired of these people talking to me crazy. I'm in my 50s. I'm not one of these 20-something years old. I'm not going to take this shit. So you know what I did? I said, you know what? I come in the next morning, told the other manager, this is my last week. I didn't even tell him. Because if I would told him, I would have some harsh feelings to say. But he embarrassed me in front of that cleaning lady. So after then, I said, F this shit. And not only one time when I was on my training, I could have been the kind of person, when I broke my toenail was bleeding, I didn't even file workers' compensation on it. They were, you all right, because they know that was on time. I didn't do that. And the way these people are, and that technician, that manager, that was it. I enjoyed the job. It was delivery. Just you put in the company car. I didn't speed. I made sure to check all the fluids and doing part of my job. But some of these people, they want to talk to you like you their servant. So I understand what they're saying. And then you do apply for some of these jobs. Like any other person, they make up excuses. I have been called on jobs. Fill out the application. Wait for the start. They never call me back. Give it to the manager. Never call you back. This is what I've gone through in Columbus. Fill out all the paperwork. Went to the test and everything. I had to do it on one other job one time. So people get tired. This bullshit. I can only imagine. But, black joy, they don't like to see black people have joy. They always got to be over you. And I'm going to tell you one thing, and I hope we do get reparations. And, I really do. But if you ever get some wealth, you can't even tell the black people. And I said this in the video one time. You get that wealth, you get enough wealth, the generational wealth, my brothers, my sisters, I would leave the country. If you think they're jealous now, they'll really be jealous. And go to some part of the world, and shout out to the black men and women that travel, that live in expats in other countries. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. You ain't got to deal with this bullshit no more. Even though you might see a little bit, but you won't see as much like you did here. If I was you, I wouldn't say that to nobody. I don't care if you hit $1 billion lottery. Don't tell these folks nothing. And get out of here. Because this country, it's always going to be racist and prejudiced until Jesus Christ come back. They're always going to have that mindset. Some of these people are going to have the same mindset. They would go to hell with hating black folks. Envious, jealousy, and you ain't did nothing. It's passed down from generation to generation. We show them this. That's why I try to get rid of it out of schools, because they know what they done, and they carry that. Their grandparents, their parents didn't like black people. Their grandparents didn't like black people. They was envious of them when they saw they was doing their own thing, and they disrupted and made their life miserable. These are the children of them. Some of them are the children of some of these people in these videos that these young brothers point out. That's a fact. If an alien can take a whole group of us and go and put us in a paradise around the world, these same white folks would get jealous. Why did the aliens have to come get the black folks? What's so special about them? And put us in paradise. They would seriously try to get Elon Musk to figure out where did the aliens take the black folks. It's the truth. It's the truth. Anyway, I just want to say that the envies and jealousy towards us as a people, every year it's amazing. And I'm not excusing some of us do some silly things, but they just that they're jealous. That's all what it is. Because at the end of the day, they have to admit, foundation of Black America is the economy. These people know it. They can't. That's why they can't be us. They try to mimic, but they can't do it. And that's why they can't stand it. That's a fact. And I've seen these other groups of people do the same thing. But just because you do it, try to make someone miserable, will mean that you're going to have the ones who do that think that it's going to be a blessing to them. It's going to make it a lot harder. Think about it. Take care, be blessed. See you on the next video.